And welcome to the Jersey Buzz. As always, our community has some really, we like to call them badasses. And my friend here, Carol, loves purple, and she's with us with Shine and Inspire. Hey.
Hey, how are you?
We've known each other for a long time.
Long time.
Yeah, and you're still, not only do you have a job, but you have Shine and Inspire.
Correct.
Busy, busy girl.
Yeah.
And, we always run into each other because you're very active in the community. And, I went onto your website, which has a lot. I mean, you've just done everything. I love it.
Thank you.
So, before we get into the closet project, you're busy and you're still doing this on top of being busy. What motivates you to just do what you're doing?
So I describe myself as a bleeding heart liberal from the 60s. Graduated high school in 1969, tie-dye. We were the era of, peace signs. And I've always been about helping people. It's just always what I wanted to do. Early on, I said I was going to be a social worker. My father wanted me to be a teacher. I said, no, I don't want to be a teacher. Although years later, I became a dance teacher, and I've done that for 32 years. But that's not in a classroom. That's a different.
I did not know that.
I teach line dancing.
I didn't know that. Well, I see you. Okay, I do see you associated with it, but I didn't know you were a teacher.
For 32 years, 33 years, actually.
You learned something
And the
new every day.
fundraiser that have just happened was country western theme.
That's what I saw.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Yes. And you're always doing things that are fun too.
Yes. I have a Facebook page called Cool Stuff with Carol, and we do fun things. We go to tea and wear fascinators. We've gone to New York. We just go out to eat. We've done grounds for sculpture. We've done BAPs. We do all different kinds of things.
So was that like something that you started to get people together who just want to go, or is it you and your friends?
So I always like to do things, and sometimes I'd see people doing things and, they didn't include me. So I just, start doing things with my friends. And somebody said, well, I want to know about it. And I said, oh, okay. I said, maybe I'll set up a Facebook page. And I said, well, what should we call it? And one of my friends came up with Cool Stuff with Carol. So there's now about over 200 people on the page. I've never had that many at an event, but it's a lot of my dance friends, my professional friends, all different kinds of friends.
But it's a way to find somebody who lives in Mercer County.
Or
right?
beyond.
Or beyond, that if you're doing something, so you post what you're doing and then they can join you?
Yes. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I did not know that either. Okay, so now I have to follow you on that.
Yes.
Because that's fun.
Yeah, that's all fun stuff. We do, like I said, we do teas. That's one of the things we really like to do. But we've done the Circle Line around Manhattan. We've gone into the city to see shows. We've gone down to Katz's Deli, all different things.
You know what I love about that is because you come into a certain point in your life, right? Where people change, like maybe you're divorced or someone passed or whatever. You end up single, or your friends just don't want to do stuff, but you do. And I love that you're doing this because there's a lot of people who are just like, I want to do, but they don't have anyone to go with.
Right.
So they could just show up and pay.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. That's exactly
Cool
what
Stuff
it is.
With Carol. And you have to wear purple?
No.
It's optional.
But for my fundraiser, which is coming up in June, my birthday fundraiser, purple is requested. I never say required, but
a lot of people
requested.
Wear purple, don't
yes.
they? Because it's a badass color.
It is.
So we're talking about amethyst,
yes,
crystals, and the energy of purple is for.
So amethyst means not drunk. If you look into Greek mythology and amethystos, I can't tell you the story exactly, but Google it. If you're interested, check it out.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful color.
I know. And it's money, royalty, you said. Yeah, no, it has some good energy to it. And the amethyst crystal is healing. So
absolutely.
Anybody who wants to know, just let you know. Well, you obviously are even busier than I thought, which of course, because that's the busy people get things done, because there's no such thing as motivation. Action creates motivation. And you're very active. So I went on, I saw you were talking about the closet and I had heard about it, but then I went onto your website, and I encourage anyone to really look into the program. I was very moved that there's a program to help these kids stay in school. And I didn't even think about that. I mean, I'm privileged, I don't want for anything. I've always been blessed that way. But imagine a little kid not wanting to go to school just because they don't have deodorant.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. How did you get involved with this?
So I was having a conversation with someone at an event, and she was involved in Hamilton Township. And we started to talk, and she said that there are kids that don't go to school because they can't afford deodorant. And I said, well, that's ridiculous. This is Mercer County. There's a lot of money in this county. No child should ever not be able to school because they can't afford $1 or $2 deodorant. Right. So the person I had the conversation with in that township just didn't move really quickly on my idea. So I went to Ewing, and I knew the woman who had been the gym teacher for 30 years. And I said, what do you do when your kids can't afford things like deodorant? And she said, I buy it. And I said, is that what all teachers do? And she said, absolutely. Yeah. So I said, well, what if we could provide that for you? What if we could provide hygiene items? And she said, it would be amazing. I said, well, see what you have to do to get it approved. And boom, boom, it was approved. And the first Shine and Inspire closet, and I always put quotes around closet because it could be 2 shelves in the nurse's office.
Right.
It could be a cabinet. It could be a shelf like that. It's really whatever the school has. And what we started to provide were hygiene items. And I mean everything: feminine products, Q-tips, Band-Aids, soap, shampoo, body wash, chapstick, anything like that. School supplies and non-perishable foods, because the level of hunger is just off the charts. So we started with one in 2019. In 2025, we have over 30.
That's crazy. I saw the list.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
It's unbelievable how great the need is, that people have to choose between milk and paying a bill. They can't afford both. One of the things, we've added things along the way, like chapstick, somebody said. That's something that they're always looking for. Toothbrushes, toothpaste, things you don't even think about. One of our teachers told a story at one of the fundraisers that a child came up to her and said, asked for a piece of gum. And she said, why do you need gum? And they said, because I can't brush my teeth. And she said, why not? And she said, we can't afford toothpaste.
Oh.
Now, I'm going to tell you right now, the next time you go to your dentist, ask them for a donation. Yeah. They have boxes and boxes of toothpaste and toothbrushes that they want to donate. My dentist, they call me and say, okay, come pick up a box.
Wow.
Yes. So all the people watching this, go to your dentist and ask.
Going to.
And we have collection boxes all over, or you can just call me and I will meet you somewhere and pick it up. But there are people that need this. There are right now, between just Trenton and Hamilton, there are over 700 homeless or displaced children.
What? Are you serious?
Yes.
Okay. I know I live in a bubble, but that's a lot.
So that means a shelter, a motel, grandma's couch, somebody's floor. Many don't have beds. And I don't know if you've been to some of the motels in this area, but I've delivered to some of them. One particularly where I literally, after I delivered there, went and called the head of Health and Human Services in New Jersey and said, how can you put anybody there?
Good for you.
And she said, we don't have anywhere else to put them. So one of the things that we also supply when asked for are cleaning supplies, because when they go into places like this, they've got to clean them before they can even let their kids in there.
Yeah.
So for the 2 homeless liaisons, we work with the one in Hamilton and the one in Trenton. They might often ask for those kinds of things. Each school's a little bit different. One of the teachers had an experience where she brought in one of her kids' old lunch bags. They aren't really lunch boxes anymore. They're really bags,
right.
Lovely bags. And she gave it to a child who thought he was given gold. He was so excited, and it was nothing special. So that's on the list now. So we give those to the schools too.
Yeah, because kids grow out of their lunch boxes.
Yes.
They want a different theme.
Yes.
And they weren't bad, so there's a, you can donate those?
Sure.
You'll take
Yep.
those?
Everything new, though. We don't take anything used.
Oh, okay.
Only new. That just happened that's where the story came, because the teacher brought one of our kids, but these kids don't have new things.
Right,
so
right.
We want to provide new
You can go to
things
the
for them.
$1.25 now store
Yeah.
and
Right.
get like everything you're talking about.
Yeah. You can go on Amazon. We have a wish list. You can just go on Amazon and make a donation to
Oh,
us.
you do?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I saw that. I didn't go.
Yep. Shine and Inspire. We have a wish list and we welcome all donations. Lotion, body wash. I mean, they're always asking things that you use every day that you just don't think about people not being able to afford.
No, you don't. Because you have it. Like, I wouldn't think of not having toothpaste.
Right.
Just would never occur to me because I go and I buy it. Actually, I order it now and have it delivered. Okay, so I'm obsessed with your sparkle in your hair.
Okay, so this is called fairy hair or sparkle hair.
Yes.
And if you were at the fundraiser, you might have had it done because we have somebody who was doing it. But yeah, I have a friend named Tara Sparkles, and she ties it to her hair.
It just makes you happy.
It does.
It really
and it's
does.
a conversation piece.
It's totally. I
People
just
totally stopped
totally
me.
went off onto the side where I was like doing my little Finding Nemo scene. With Dory.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
Shiny penny.
Yes. Yeah.
Anyway, so okay.
Yes.
I love that.
Me too.
Because every time I look at you, you make me happy. Not only you're a good soul, but you're always smiling and you're always in purple and it's just good energy. So this is really, I didn't know about the 700 kids. Now we're back on track. How do people help? Like how can people really help them?
Well, donations, financial donations that allow us to continue our mission. We're based on the mission of paying it forward.
Yeah.
So when I started the nonprofit many years ago, I didn't want to be like everybody else. There are so many nonprofits, many overlap. We wanted to be different. So when someone applies for a closet, and any school can apply for a closet, part of the application is how will you pay it forward? So we want them to have a plan, work with the kids, the teachers, teach them about, we want to create a positive ripple effect, not a negative ripple effect, which is what happens when the child doesn't go to school because they can't afford deodorant,
right?
Because they're teased. And then they don't want to go to school because they're teased. And then they fall back on their schoolwork. And it's just a negative ripple effect.
Yeah.
So different schools have done different things for paying it forward. One school has a little library that they've kept going for years. One school sends cards to seniors or people in the hospital or nursing homes. Another school did a collection for the animal shelter. They collected animal food, cat food, dog food, blankets. So each school comes up with their own idea of how they pay it forward.
So what you're saying is that people contribute to this and then is it the kids who receive it, pay it forward, or the school?
The school does it for somebody else, for the community.
Okay. That's great.
Yeah.
And that's how the world should be.
Right.
I'm sorry, but we just live in this time that as much as I get, you have to focus on yourself because, if the well's dry, you can't be a inspiration or something for someone else. But just people are very self-absorbed and they don't think about outside of the 700 kids who are literally like, how terrifying is that?
I believe, and I came to this belief later in life, that we're here to do service. That's our role in life, is to do for others.
We are.
Right.
We're not here just to have like this little like me, myself, and I moment.
Right.
Because the way God made us is energetically connected. So if you're isolated and you're not around people, you're going to get depressed. But when you do things and you do service for others, it makes you feel so good.
Absolutely.
It's like I like to say healing is the new high.
Interesting.
Yeah, use it.
So one of the other things that we do every year, we have 2 events, and you've been to our children's events in the past.
Yes.
Where we bring over 100 displaced or homeless kids or low income to Nottingham Ballroom, which is a big, beautiful ballroom here in Mercer County.
Yes.
And you walk into the room and it is filled with crafts and games. They make slime, they decorate cookies, all kinds of really cool things. We've lately had the Civil Air Patrol come and they would do flight simulators with the kids, and we had a drone show.
Wow. And
the kids have lunch, and we've gotten information on all these children before they come, and they will all leave there with a special gift just for them. We've done backpacks, we've done in the winter, we've done coats and hats and boots, sneakers.
Wow.
So it's you have to be chosen, you have to be referred by one of our schools. We work with many schools in Mercer County.
Wow.
And we're planning our June one now. That'll be our next one.
Okay.
And the faces of the kids are just priceless.
I have the chills.
It's the best thing we do.
No, it is. I've seen the one in the holiday and it was fun.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. Like, I don't know who you were doing it for, but adults seem to be having a good time too.
They do.
I know. Well, how can people find you?
So, of course, we have a website, shineandinspire.org. We have a Facebook page, Shine and Inspire. You can friend me as well on Facebook because there's nothing personal about my page. Carol Feldman. It's purple. You'll see it. And right now there's the something purple on my profile picture.
Yeah.
I can.
Yeah.
My email is carol@shineandinspire.org.
Yep.
Reach out anyway, anytime. I would love to come speak at your church or temple or your organization, your group. Sunday I spoke at St. Raphael's. Okay. And these women were so lovely. They were literally throwing money at me. They just were all donating. It was just beautiful.
Yeah. No, that's amazing. So if anybody wants to set up a drop-off location or make a donation or, donate items or volunteer to help, that's your lady right here, Miss Carol. She's amazing. And she definitely, if you want to pay it forward and if you're feeling like crap, maybe get yourself out of your own head. Go help someone else. I'm telling you, it's the fixer, right? Paying it forward. It makes you feel good about things in life.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So thank you.
I just wanted to say what our tagline is: make a difference in someone's life and it will make a difference in yours.
That's a good tagline because it's true.
Thank you for having me, April.
Well, because I love talking to cool people. So anyway, everybody, you know what to do. Like, comment, and share this podcast because look at all the cool people we're talking to. Carol, Shine and Inspire. And as you see, we have a big community responsibility to help people who really can't help themselves. And that's the little 700 kids who are homeless. So you know what to do. Call Carol.